Chapter 6, A Bloom with a View. Several weeks after your husband's return, you're eating breakfast with the Duke when a maid interrupts to deliver a note. It looks like an invitation, but from who? Lawrence, we've been invited to Lady Adeline Bobbington's garden party today.
Surely you don't expect me to attend. I can't imagine company more dreary than an elderly widow living with her companion.
Well, I'd quite like to go. They're our nearest neighbors, and Averci's rarely in good enough health for such affairs.
Ugh, Lady Adeline is hale as a horse. She'll outlive us all while nattering on about her aches and pains the whole time.
Come, Lawrence, would you waste an opportunity to gain status?
Unless Lord Bobbington returns from the dead with an interest for imports, I can imagine what I can gain at a garden party.
Oh, I see. So Lady Adeline has nothing of social or business value without her husband?
You simple woman, that's exactly what I just said. Attend with Nate, if you're so set on going. He'll sharpen your conversation skills. And with that, the Duke pushes back from the table, striding out of the dining room with his broadsheet in hand.
Attend the party with him. What a splendid idea.
Before long, you're sharing the news with him, struggling to keep your eyes off his lips as they curl into a smile. His Grace appears wholly comfortable with leaving you in my company. Perhaps your fears were unfounded. Ever since you almost got caught kissing him, you've tried to maintain decorum, but this excitement at the prospect of more time with you is contagious. This will be the chance to expand your horizons further. Some of the gentry's more interesting ladies should be there.
Then I ought to wear something stunning if I am to curry their favor.
I don't think of it that way, Duchess. You'd be making them want to curry your favor.
He glances around the room before dropping his lips against your ears. Warm breath tickles your skin.
Never mind what favors a show-stopping gown would make me want to do for you.
You swallow, your imagination running wild. His hands slide against your new silken skirts, his fingers stealing fleeting touches against your exposed skin. Your cheeks warm at the scandalous thoughts, yet you can't shake them from your mind. A new gown would provide some benefits.
Yeah, listen, I need you to go back to 1800s and find me a gown like this.
Even 1900s, like early 1901. Find me a gown like this. Good luck!
Not long after Campbell helps you dress, you and Nathaniel are pressed close together in the carriage, your new gown cascading around him. You look over the dream, Duchess.
Thank you. I hope the ladies will be green when they see me in this.
They won't be the only ones.
He retrieves the fingerless glove from your lap, then presents it to you.
Care for some assistance?
What if someone sees you?
As your chaperone today, it is my duty to ensure you're well looked after. I intend to start right now.
His eyes darken as he readies the lacy glove. Allow me. You present your hand to him, inhaling sharply as he slides the glove on you. His fingers linger against your skin, tenderly working their way up your arm. Surely he can feel my pulse racing. Once he finishes, he lifts your hand to his lips, taking care to kiss each exposed finger.
Almost done.
His tongue darts out briefly, lapping against one of your fingers. Heat blooms deep in your core at the fleeting touch. Oh. And when he has you begging for more, he places your hand back in your lap, his lips curl into a devilish smirk.
Perfect.
Yes, I think I'm ready for the party now.
Are you, though?
Not long after, you and Nate arrive. At the neighboring estate, two older women and a small dog greet guests at the garden's entrance. Sonny, settle down. You're upsetting my poor nerves. That must be our hostess.
And her dog, Lady Adeline Bobbington, is a widow. Miss Clara Fortenay has been her companion since her husband's passing.
I'm glad she has such a close friend to keep her company.
He smiles broadly, leaning in close to whisper. Close indeed. I would treat them as a married couple. Lady Adeline wouldn't be insulted if you didn't show Miss Fortene the proper respect.
Oh, are they lovers then?
They've never said as much publicly, but they're less guarded with those in their inner circle, a few of whom I happen to know. It's far more common than you think. Quite the ideal arrangement for women who are such close friends.
Lady Adeline hands Sunny off to Miss Fortene. You notice how her fingertips linger on her arm. Lady Adeline turns her gaze on you as you approach, her eyes lighting up at the sight of your attire. Oh, your grace, dare I say, you are blossoming into your role as Duchess. That dress is simply marvelous. The floral lacework is so intricate. Thank you, Miss Fortene. I was hoping I would blend in with the garden.
As if she could, the Duchess would put a rose to shame.
That dress puts our entire garden to shame, I'll say. A difficult feat with so many other radiant flowers close by. The Duke must be busy, indeed, to miss out on such a sight. I take it your husband could not attend, your grace. Sadly, no, but he sends the warmest regards. In his stead, I brought my tutor, Nate. Well, you're the one we wanted to see, your grace, especially while Adeline has the energy. I drank a tonic yesterday that improved my health considerably. You may have heard my constitution is very unreliable. Don't be so hard on yourself. It's improving every day.
Miss Fortene places a comforting hand on Lady Adeline's rather toned arm. Their eyes meet as if you and Nate weren't there.
I must say, you have such a beautiful family. Nestled together with Sunny in your arms, you and Miss Fortene look like a young couple doting on their newborn child. What a delightful thing to say. A young couple. See, Clara, what have I been telling you? You haven't aged a day.
Just then, Sunny leaps to the ground and charges off into the house. Lady Adeline sighs deeply.
Oh, forgive us. We must attend to this. Sunny's health is even more delicate than my own.
Lady Adeline dashes away in a full-on sprint, hot in Sunny's pursuit. Miss Fortene makes her excuses and chases after the two of them.
Delicate health. I don't think even Louise can run that fast.
I'd say you left a good first impression, Sophie. Perhaps some lemonade to celebrate?
Lemonade sounds nice.
At the refreshment table, Cecilia refills her drink as Mina trails behind her. Judging from Cecilia's expression, your friend requires help.
Actually, I'll get it. Just a moment.
As you approach, she smiles at you, sharing a silent gratitude for your arrival. Mina rolls her eyes, her mood in the opposite.
Sophie, how great it is to see you here. I was just telling Cecily that some observations I've made about her, shall we say, brazen socializing habits. It seems the Viscountess has driven everyone else away, the poor dear.
Perhaps it's just your company. You can tell at a glance that she wishes she was anywhere else. A sense of protectiveness swells in your chest. Mina has to be put in her place.
Her charm got her an invite, did it not? The same as you. Oh, it would seem we have different definitions of charm, but at least you've attempted to refine your own since your clumsy arrival at my party. Who needs charm with such a radiant dress? The whole party's been staring at you since you arrived, Sophie. Surely not. It's only been a few minutes. The quiet dress is quite tasteful, I'll admit.
You cross the way. Nate is locked in a conversation with the Baron, but his eyes remain fixed on you. You avert your gaze before either of the women catches you. Mina is oblivious to notice, but Cecily,
is it just you and Nate? I don't see the Duke today. Apparently, he has no interest in garden parties, or any party as far as I can tell. You know, people might start to wonder about your marriage if you continue to attend so many events without him.
You know, they can wander all they want. I don't give a damn, my dear.
And Where is your husband, Mina? Aren't you worried people will start to talk? Mr. Bidmore is barely known in society, after all. He's at home. Francis has more important things to attend to than chatter with ladies. Oh dear, those words he said to you when you asked? I hope he at least indulges your chatter in the home. I mean, you aren't any fairer, my dear. Just throwing that out there. Now, where was that, Ackerbeck with the last time we spoke? I didn't think you had the stomach for backhand bitterness. I'm guessing your little tutor has been reading the misanthrope to you? Moliere actually wrote the misanthrope as a condemnation of gossip and misanthropy, or didn't you read it? That must be what all the ladies from your season mean when they say Mina Bitmore only cares about the title. You... She stumbles over words unable to form a retort without any other word. She stomps away in search of another conversation. Heavens, Sophie, you are merciless today. Only merely giving her a taste of her own medicine. I must say, humility suits her. With your newfound conversational prowess, you'll have no trouble in rapturing the other guests. You truly believe so? I'd never admit this in Mina's presence, but I still need to establish myself among the gentry here. Let's start with Countess Dalton. She can be quite a snob and talks endlessly about her musical prodigy niece. How impressive. It would be if the girl could pluck her away for a single sonata. Sadly, she cannot, but I wouldn't tell the Countess that. You and Cecily across the lawn, where an imposing woman stands gossiping with the other women around. You should hear my niece's latest composition. Such beauty. Viscountess Cecily was just telling me how talented of a musician she is. Not just talented, Alice is a prodigy. She started her pianoforte lessons when she was just about 1 year age. Oh, and how old is she now? 2. Oh, God. You glance at Cecily, dumbfounded, her eyebrows bounce up upon once to prompt you to continue. Well, I bet Bach pales in comparison. Certainly, I don't even bother listening to the pompous drivel anymore. Completely uninspired compared to Alice. I bet she's such a visionary. She doesn't even use conventional instruments. Exactly! She's currently learning the principles of percussion and on pots and pans. I'm sure Alice would love to play for the Duchess of Sussington. Perhaps you should join us for tea. I would be honored. As she nods curtly and departs, she points at a man taking a glass from a passing footman. He's dressed in some kind of military uniform. That's Baron von Mark, incredibly wealthy and obsessed with fashion trends. And his current trend is war. Again, I don't recommend being the one to tell. Before she can say any more, the man approaches. He speaks with a dubious accent vaguely reminiscent of France. Viscountess Cecily, you must introduce me to this divine creature. Your dress is so enchanting, Sherry. Thank you. I wasn't sure of if it was the thing for this sort of affair or not. Ah, but one must set le mood, not simply flute. Not that I need to tell you. Yeah, Sophie does have exquisite taste, but then you'd expect no less from the new Duchess of Sussington. Ah, la noble Duchess. I've heard so much about you. I am Baron von Mark. Lovely to meet you, Baron. I am fascinated by your fashion choice. A gift for my dearest friend, Vicomte de Noisette. You promised to connect me with the latest in French fashion. And yet you're wearing war ensemble. It looks positively impeccable on you. I'm glad someone else believes so. It's the hallmark of French fashions. When the Vicomte visited my estate, his outfit was stunning. I remember wondering how any human being could the match his style. Now I know the answer is you.
So kind and alright he was to call you a diamond of a Duchess.
He walks away stiffly, the tight uniform keeping his posture comically erect. This is the perfect opportunity to talk to Lady Saunders. She loves to insert herself in the business of others. Most town gossips are content merely to unveil everyone's salacious troubles, but Lady Saunders seeks to solve them. Does she often succeed? No, it always gets worse, so you're better off getting in her good graces by feeding her someone else's secrets to her. Mina. We'll just feed her Mina. Lady Saunders' gaze falls on you as you come towards her. She watches you with skepticism.
Oh, that walk, that dress, and with Viscountess Cecily, nonetheless. You must be the new Duchess of Sussington.
You would be correct.
I know I am. I'm sure you're privy to some news. Tell me, what have you heard about our fellow attendees?
We'll do that.
With all due respect, Your Grace, everyone who's ever heard him speak knew that accent was fake.
Couldn't someone perhaps you assist him in that endeavor?
I don't think so, dear. I'm very selective on my projects, and besides, I can't make him French.
She ponders your appearance. She pats your shoulder affectionately.
Chin up. I'm sure you'll come into some juicy considering how beautiful you are, as long as you keep getting invites to things like this.
I certainly hope to.
I have a feeling you'll be finding yourself in many interesting a situation. Let's keep in touch.
As she stalks off in search of better gossip, Cecily pulls you away from the thick of the party. I know Lady Saunders was rough, but you were brilliant. You'll be the most popular lady in the country in no time. I couldn't have done it without your help. You can make it up to me right now. There's one more person to introduce you to. A giddy smile overtakes her face as she gestures to a handsome man in lively conversation at the edge of the garden. I don't believe I've met him before. Is he important to the country? Oh, not by rank, but isn't he handsome? That's Philip Smithwaite, the second son of Baron Middlebury. He'll never inherit, now that his older brother's sired an heir, which is a shame, though Philip claims to like his freedom. How do you know? We met at a party a few months ago. He's an excellent dancer. We danced several reels together, but my husband hates them. She looks around quickly before whispering in your ear conspiratorially. He even showed me how to waltz. The waltz, but isn't that dance considered quite scandalous? Yes. Philip makes one want to throw caution to the wind. Perhaps it's his artistic bent. One of his plays opens in London next week. It sounds like are interested in more than just his plays. You seem particularly taken with his dancing, for example. He does have a way with his hips. And just how well do you two of you know each other? Philip and I see quite a lot of each other, privately. Oh. You said your marriage wasn't a love match, but I never guessed. But does your husband know about him? In a way, my husband also has very dear friends. It's something we agreed to early on to maintain a peaceful marriage. It's kept both of us very happy and helped us avoid resentment. So long as we stay discreet, no one is harmed. She gazes at Philip with longing and sighs. Unfortunately, Philip's been so busy with his play as of late that we hardly have spoken in weeks. Well, now would be the perfect time. If I'd known he would be at this party, I would have brought a maid to chaperone us on a tour of the grounds so we could avoid suspicion. Nate pops his head into the conversation and hands you a glass of fresh lemonade. How much did you hear? Just the tail end, but that combined with your and Mr. Smithwaite's longing glances was enough to put two and two together. I trust that you know how to be discreet, Mr. Pippin? I'm not sure if kissing right under the servants' noses count as discreet. We were almost caught after all. But he is trustworthy. He wouldn't gossip about our secret.
My lips are sealed, and if you're right, and if you want some private time with a furrier friend, a chaperone of sorts would help. A role Sophie and I could fill for you. That is, if she's amenable.
Would you, Sophie? There's a lake beyond those trees we could go punting on. I'd give anything to spend a few hours with Philip. No one could possibly suspect anything if you came. We'd all have a chance to enjoy one another's company.
Giggity. She drops her voice to a whisper only you can hear.
I will warn you, though, Philip and I sometimes can get carried away, but you and Nate are welcome to watch. I don't mind.
Oh, okay. I would love to chaperone you too.
You must take advantage of your opportunity with your friend. Why don't you fetch Philip? Oh, thank you so much. You are a true friend.
She quickly adjusts her hair before hurrying over to her lover, beaming with barely contained glee. She looks quite happy, as am I. You know I'd never turn down a chance to converse with you privately.
Is that all you want to do? Talk? I thought you were a man of action. Ugh.
Called subtlety. Sometimes all one needs are words to titillate. Soon, they walk over to you, carrying a basket with refreshments. Your Grace, Mr. Pippin, a pleasure to meet both of you.
Call me Sophie, and if you and Cecilia are as close as she's implying, I'm sure we'll soon be fast friends too.
I'm Nate. Frankly, I've always found the prescription on given names a bit hysterical. A man after my own artist's heart. Clearly, we're all destined to become close confidants. And so we did the revolution. That's all. That's it.
Shut up.
You and Nate trail behind the two of them to the lake. Their hands graze against each other, but their fingers never interlace. It's clear they're very aware of the eyes of the rest of the gathering. Still, they're lost in their own conversation. They seem quite fond of each other. Do you think they have taken physical liberties as well?
It would be surprising if they hadn't.
Oh, and what makes you think so?
It wouldn't be right to share what she told me about her arrangement, is it? But it's still obvious, isn't it? Don't you see the way they look at each other?
I do, but is affection so strange to behold in friends?
Even I know that gaze holds promises of something more. They would have to be saints to not act on their desires.
He leans close to you, trailing a hand over your waist as you walk behind a large tree shielded from view. That is certainly a feeling I understand well. His hand cradles your hip, then slips lower, even over your gown. His touch against your outer thigh makes you shiver. The constant burning of desire, the thirst no drink can shake.
It sounds a misery.
One I'd be willing to put myself out of given the opportunity, and assuming my partner shares my needs. You draw in a ragged breath as his lips move closer, hovering near the curve of your jaw, his breath caressing your skin. Need suddenly bursts all over you, like lightning in a summer heat.
Perhaps you'll have that opportunity today.
Then he pulls away as you emerge into a plain view again. Your bosom heaves as you work to catch your breath. I sincerely hope so. Eventually, you all reach the lake and find a punting boat tied to a rustic dock. There's no one else around, the perfect paradise for a private outing. Shall we set off? I'll man the punting pole. I have no objection to that. I'd rather much enjoy the view. His eyes burn into Cecilia. So intense, you feel heat rising to your own skin. You look away, focusing on climbing safely into the boat. You take a seat near Nate as he commands the pole, launching you off the dock and into the lake. You look ravishing today. I couldn't keep my eyes off of you at the party. Philip has moved close to her, his leg pressed against hers.
Then you should have saved me from my dreadful conversation sooner. I was parched for amusement until Sophie arrived.
But until you suggested this excursion, I feared it would be only frustrate us both, being so close yet unable to touch.
Should I be watching this? I feel like I'm interrupting something private.
She scoots closer, resting her hand on the silk of his breeches. She leans in, her whisper barely audible.
Your words alone are more than a touch. They set my skin alight.
Oh, and what does this do to you, my lady? His hand slides underneath her skirt. He's slowly inching up her leg. She throws her head back, moaning lightly as his hand moves higher. I think most of us, if we saw this, would, like, be enraptured by it, but then at the same time want to look away, but then wouldn't look away. I don't know. Me, I don't know. It depends on you if you're in the situation. Philip presses languid kisses along her neck. Each movement of his lips elicits a gasp from her.
Philip.
He trails his mouth down to her collarbone, tugging her dress aside to flick his tongue over the curves of her décolletage. I have no clue what that is. You feel your own heart begin to race as Philip's hand moves higher to where Cecilia's legs meet. She bucks against him, groaning softly.
Why do I feel like this is just from watching?
Her eyes are half lily, drinking in the feeling of his mouth, the ministrations of his fingers.
Oh, it feels so good.
As you watch, you imagine his hands on your body moving over the sensitive spots between your legs. Heat pulls at your core, building to a pulsing ache. It takes all your willpower not to let a moan escape your lips. Enjoying the show? But with effort, you tear your gaze away.
I'm not sure what you mean.
It's a pity, I assure you. It's quite the stirring display. Soon the boat slows to a stop at a small island on the lake. He docks the boat and offers you a hand to step on the island. Duchess. You take it, indulging in his fingers grazing over your skin, his thumb sweeping over your palm. After their passion, even that brief touch thrums you, stirring up your own need.
Oh, perfect. No one shall ever find us here.
It's entirely hidden from the dock. I'd wager there's not a more private spot on the entire estate. You sit next to him on a spread-out blanket and marvel at the view.
This is quite the find, Nate.
I think our companions would agree. You glance around and notice that they are nowhere to be seen. Instead, you hear Cecilia's moans riding on the breeze. Nate nods towards the source. Through a patchy wall of leaves, Philip and her cling to each other as they kiss fervently. Oh, Cecily. She threads her fingers through his hair, tugging him closer until their bodies are curved together as one. A spike of need lances through you as you watch. What if that were you and Nate instead? You seem quite fascinated. I never pegged you for the voyeuristic type. But then again, you always surprise me.
I find it thrilling.
Oh, what about it excites you? You lower your head, trying to hide your embarrassment from him.
Just knowing that I'm watching a private moment between lovers, imagining myself feeling the same caresses.
His hand cradles Cecily's hip, and you imagine Nate holding you the same.
All of it makes me dizzy, but I'm unable to look away. My imagination overcomes me.
You find yourself swaying towards him, attracted to him like a magnet. You look up at him with wide eyes, only to realize how close your lips are from his. Imagination always has been the most potent aphrodisiac. His ravenous gaze pulls you impossibly closer to him, as if lost in a trance. Her moans become yours and his. You become your lovers.
Yes.
You squirm, titillated by his words alone. You massage your thighs with your hands for some sort of relief, shaking as you imagine the scene. You on your back being hungrily ravaged by Nate, bodies locked together in a heated embrace. I will reward you handsomely for your patience, in fact. Oh. Glance over and see that she is in his lap, his hands hidden beneath her skirts as they kiss. Oh my. She grinds into him, reveling in his moans as he pulses against her, throbbing with every move of her hips. He wraps her legs around him, gasping as he strokes her thighs. Nate smirks and brushes his lips against her ear. Is that how you want me to touch you? His finger brushes against her heat, lingering for a moment before pulling away. Or do you want me to tease you, bring you to the brink of unraveling, before taking it away over and over until you can't take it anymore, until you find yourself unable to resist the urges coursing through you? Nate, Philip! They can call out my name, desperate for my touch. You gasp lightly, grinding against the blanket, eager for any friction. I'll be sure to give you everything you need. You'll be lost in your own pleasure, and I will drive my own. And that would be enough for you? His hand brushes over Cecily's heat. She trembles at his touch, shaking with pleasure as she grips his shoulders. Her head lolls back, gazing up at the sky in a daze as Philip works her faster, harder. You clench your thighs, rocking back and forth, needing to relieve the burning need. It's not much pressure, but it's all you have. You're more than enough for me, Sophie. You're more than I could have ever imagined. Will you hand me some lemonade? Will you hand me some lemonade? I'm doing it. Overheated, perhaps. He retrieves the bottle of lemonade from the basket and then holds it out to you. Parched. Your fingers linger against his as you take the bottle, but you hold each other's gaze. As you drink, he runs a feather-light finger up your arm, sending a chill in its wake. You have some lemonade, right? You feel a droplet of lemonade drip down the side of your cheek. He leans in close, his eyes dropping to your mouth as he wipes it away with his thumb. Here. Thank you. Nate leaves his hands against your cheek. It would be so easy to reach out and... Just then, you feel a drop of rain graze your cheek. Nate untangles himself from you and sits up to look at the darkening sky. Clouds have started to form, blurring the sunshine. I guess it was too good to last. He calls to them, who are locked in a heated embrace. Not to interrupt this meeting of friends, but we should be going. If we get caught in the rain, it would make our disappearance more suspect. Yes, of course. So wise of you to pay attention. Cecily and Philip reluctantly break and join you back on the punting boat. The whole way back to across the lake, your mind is consumed with thoughts of today's adventure. You feel Nate silently watching you as he mans the pole, giggity. You try to focus on the path ahead while Philip and Cecily share stolen kisses once more. What if I kiss Nate while Cecily watched on? The thought is exciting. Your mind runs wicked until you reach the shore. I'm glad we had the chance for a private moment while we were here, but for now, Philip, you and Nate go on ahead. Don't worry, I've learned how to keep our secrets by now. We'll see you back at the party. Cecily squeezes Philip's hand, and then he makes his way up the lawn to the party with Nate. You know it's only a short while, but there's some sadness in Nate's eyes as he tears his gaze from you. Thank you so much, Sophie. That was kind of you. I hope I wasn't too terribly a burden. Actually, I quite enjoyed it. I may have made a discovery. She smiles knowingly and wraps an arm around you. I know your marriage isn't a love match made either. And if I ever have the chance to return the favor, I will. And after that little excursion, perhaps I'll return it twice. As you rejoin the party, gray storm clouds decorate the sky, and a light drizzle covers the lawn. Attention everyone, the staff will be moving the party into the ballroom. You and the other guests hurry towards the house when suddenly Sunny bolts across the lawn after a squirrel. Squirrel! 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 bloody dogs. I'm serious. Also cats. Mine likes to chase the squirrels up and down the tree and around the yard. I'm serious.
What if he's caught in the rain? His constitution is so delicate.
Have you seen that dog chasing like a squirrel? I think his constitution's just fine.
Don't worry, I'll catch him. I'll run after him, call after him, run.
Oh, you sainted woman, please make sure my darling Sonny is safe.
You quickly close the gap between you, and you're about to scoop him up when he makes a quick left, leaving you stumbling. Oh no, Sonny.
He's darting into the trees. Quick, let's head him off.
The two of you sprint after Sonny, ignoring the drizzle in your determination to catch him. After what seems like forever, Sonny finally gets distracted by a pine cone and stops. He's kind of like a cat. Nate quickly scoops up Sonny in his arms. Sonny nuzzles him, his tiny body panting heavily from the chase.
I got you.
You naughty boy, you can't escape from us. The moment you speak the words, the heavens open completely, pouring down a cascade of rain. Droplets pelt against your face, quickly seeping into your clothing.
I saw a greenhouse nearby. We can shelter inside and wait out the storm.
So we'd be alone?
Well, I mean, technically, you have Sonny.
Your heart leaps at the chance. Your mind swirls with the thoughts of what you could do in private. Take shelter in the greenhouse. We can't stay out here in the rain. We have to think about our health, not to mention Sonny's poor constitution.
I couldn't have put it better myself.
You take Nate's hand and rush towards the greenhouse. His pulse is warm against the cold droplets of rain that slide over your skin. You and Nate reach the greenhouse just as the clouds bursts, pouring muffled heavy rain across the glass panes. You shut the door and then set Sonny down. Though the windows, you can scarcely make out the trees in the near distance, the pounding rain blurring everything together. Another few seconds and we've been soaked through.
Are you warm enough, Duchess? You're a bit wet.
I'm fine,
No, she's not.
You turn to him, his hand still in yours. You inhale sharply, realizing this is the first time you've been completely alone with him. We could do anything. There's no one to catch us. You have a moment to look at him. Really look at him. Water dripping from his clothing. Light highlighting the contours of his face. Most of all, you notice his lips. Luscious, full, parting open. It'd be so easy to kiss him again.
Sophie, I can see your mind working.
I was just admiring. Alone, we truly are. No servants nearby to listen or gossip about us. He saunters towards you, a coy smile playing on his lips.
There's no telling what sort of mischief we could get into.
Just had a horrible coughing fit. What the hell? He cups your cheek, his thumb running against your lip. You steady your breathing, relishing his touch. No reason to hold back now. His eyes darken at your words. He must feel the pull between you.
Careful, Duchess.
And what if I say I don't want to be? The memory of his soft lips and warm embrace lingers in your mind, a dream you can't shake. Perhaps we could finish the lesson that was so regrettably interrupted when the Duke returned.
You can no longer be bothered to care about the ease with which those words spilled out within the way his expression changes. He puts a hand to your chin, lifting your gaze to his. His touch sends warmth radiating through your body. What are you doing to me?
Your eyes flutter shut as his lips brush against yours. You sigh, leaning into his kiss. And sure, if your shivers are due to Nate or the cold.
Sophie, you're freezing. Let me find you something to warm you.
You hug yourself, feeling the chills heap in your bones. He hurries back with an old blanket, and he wraps it tightly around you. At least this will be warmer, until he warms you up. Wee-wee. I'd rather be wrapped up in you than this rag.
Perhaps I can make both happen. He tugs on the ends of the blanket to pull you close to him. You melt into his warmth as shivers coursing through your body lessen. Thank you. As the pounding of the rain increases, so does your heart. You realize he must feel it thrumming, which only makes it quicken even more. Time slows as your eyes drift to his lips, only inches from yours, your own heart in anticipation, wanting to reach out and close the distance. Nate, You're not certain who moves first, but you only know that your lips are on his hands cradling your waist as your mouths move fiercely against one another. The blanket falls by the wayside as he pushes you against the window, as he ravishes your neck, nipping wherever he can find bare skin. Sophie. Despite losing the extra layer, him moaning your name sends a fire raging through you, needing to be extinguished. You close your eyes, giving into a sensation. Your fingers dig into his back in your desperation to be closer to him. Please don't stop. Then what would you have me do, Duchess? Whatever you want, just keep going. He pulls back ever so slightly, his lips quirking to one side. A chill runs through you, in need of his kisses more than ever before. Maybe I should kiss you here. His lips travel down the curve of your throat. Yes. And touch you here. His hand roams the curve of your breast. Yes. Or perhaps you seek me here. His hands dip lower, brushing between your thighs with a teasing touch. Your back arches into him, desperate for him to give you the friction you desperately crave. Yes to all of it. All I need is... His lips crash against yours, swallowing your moan. You cling to him like he's air to breathe, fighting for every grasp you can steal. You barely think to breathe in amidst the dizzying excitement. Your knees grow weak, but his grip keeps you upright. And I think I was beginning to wonder whether you reciprocated my desire for you. Nate, I have to keep up appearances. If the Duke or anyone were to realize how much we meant to each other... Damn the Duke, damn the whole world for all I care. In this moment, it's just us. I'm tired of having to keep up appearances. I want you. The unequivocally declaration of desire makes you reel. This is a sensation you'd long given up on the feeling. It makes you want to melt against him, but you stay resolute. He will melt against you. Nate. He kisses you again, this time softly, intently. You can feel every emotion behind it. When you leave me for the night, I lie awake, aching for your presence. Your mind baffles at the thought of him, the man who takes whatever he wants, pining for you late into the night. You have me at your mercy, Sophie. You'll always have. Prove it, Mr. Pippin. He guides your hand to his chest and presses it to the reckless beating of his heart. You nearly gasp at its urgency. He holds your gaze with dangerous vulnerability, letting you feel the power you have over him, and it intoxicates you. He looks at you with anticipation, his breath heavy against your body. A thrill runs through your veins, this feeling forbidden yet so right. Don't be shy, Duchess. You slowly move your hand over him through the thin fabric of his shirt. You feel the taut muscles of his chest. You've imagined what he looks like under his garments, but your hand uncovers his beyond expectations. He murmurs in your ear, his voice dripping with heat. Just like that. More. You steal a kiss as your fingers trace each divot of his abs. He moans in your mouth. I'm just getting started. You tease the tips of his nips, rolling them between your fingers, and you're rewarded with a low hiss. Sophie, that's... Emboldened by his escalating moans, you use your free hand to grasp his and move it onto your breast. You send your own heart pounding faster as if to sync up with his. I need, please. Lost in his body, your kisses climb in desperation as your throbbing desire climbs to new heights. Now that you've gotten a taste of every fiber of you wants to feel him under his clothes.
Your hunger escalates to dangerous levels, preventing you from taking note of the reduced pitter-patter of rain. You watch your body reaching up until you can feel the curve of Nate's body against yours perfectly. You have no idea how badly I want you. He swallows your moans in a passionate kiss, blazing a fiery trail down your jaw. He presses open-mouthed kisses along your collarbone, wrapping an arm around your waist to hold you close. You have me. Your legs tremble, threatening to give out beneath you, but you cling to his back to anchor yourself with each movement of his hips. He sends you, world swirling. Sunny must sense something. Like people. Sunny pauses at the door, bringing you back to Earth. As you reluctantly break from Nate, you can make out a rapidly approaching voice. Your Grace, are you alright? The storm? Oh no. It seems our time is up. Nate. I'm sorry that we have to stop. As am I, Duchess. As am I. His hands remain caught in the fabric of your skirts, as if he can't bring himself to let go. The groundskeeper's steps get closer, and the rain no longer obscures the windows. Nate. The longing in his eyes makes you ache, but not in a way that's pleasant. A day will come, I promise, that we will see this through. He leans in for one final kiss, lingering there for a moment. Until he moves away, you touch your lips, wanting to memorize the feel of him. Thank you, Sophie, for giving me a moment of heaven amid my personal hell. Being my tutor? No. Wanting someone so badly I can't have. As the groundskeeper voice closes closer, you sit in a daze from feeling of Nate's warm body against you. Arf! With a heavy sigh, you rush to scoop Sunny up, ready to head back. Do we have a choice? You press the dog to your chest, covering your shortness of breath, and follow Nate and the groundskeeper back to the house.